So today I thought of just talking about something that I have noticed for the past week. I work a 9 to 5, and during my 9 to 5 I had a few of my colleagues where they were going through a few things and they just asked me advice. And I actually told them what they need to do. After that they came up to me and they said that truly the advice that you gave was actually really good, and thank you because it made me feel good. So I just wanted to talk to you about some of those things because I feel like some of us are very closed and we are not having an open heart towards certain situations with people most of the time. So what I would like to talk about is I live in an Asian country and I'm South Asian as well. I'm Sri Lankan. And as a Sri Lankan, some of the people that we tend to communicate, we tend to work with, are not the usual people that you think, they come off as very closed. Like they're not very open-minded. They're very closed. They have their certain way of doing things. They don't want to do it any other way. They are not open to change. So I had one of my colleagues. She and this other colleague had a small dispute among each other. They had a small argument. So anyhow, there was this time where she came over to me and she said, Trudy, I know I have, this is how I've been feeling about this. I don't feel good. I feel very uncomfortable when I'm in the presence of that other person because after they had a dispute, they weren't talking as much. So she spoke to me about how she felt about it and she asked for my advice. And I said, okay, it's valid that you're feeling this way because what that other person said to you did hurt you in some way, and it was very embarrassing in front of everyone of us, and also it was totally unprofessional as well. What she asked from me was, Trudy, what do you think about that situation? And I told her, and she told me like how uncomfortable it is to even look at her because of what happened. So I told her the best way is to talk to her about it and tell her how you feel about that situation. Because see, the thing is, what I find in a lot of people is when we have a dispute with someone, when we find ourselves having disagreements, probably leading to an argument, it doesn't quite end well. But then it's the after effect of it. Okay, I cannot look at her. I cannot be in the same room as her. The energy is very tense. It's very uncomfortable. And you feel all these sorts of feelings because you know that you are not on good terms with that person. But then again, you have no choice but to come to work, or you have no choice but to work with that person, or you have no choice that you both somehow end up in the same room, which is quite unavoidable. So what I told her was talk to her about it, or maybe just check in internally with yourself how you feel about the situation. Are you still hung up on this? Do you still have some anger or some hurtful emotions around this person, or have you let go of it? So I asked her to tap in and ask herself how does she feel. She told me that she felt like, now that I'm over it, it's been quite a while now, I don't really, it doesn't really bother me anymore. So I told her, okay, that's good. So it's good if you show her, be the bigger person and step up and talk to her about it, or just show her that that you're okay. So anyhow, she did what I told her. She let go of it and she smiled with that person, and then she felt good. So I wanted to talk about this because I see a lot of this happening, and me as a Sri Lankan, as I was growing up, I felt and have been in the same situations personally, and I know how much it feels to have a disagreement, have an argument with people, and then the next moment you just feel like you're very uncomfortable, the energy doesn't feel good, like you cannot look at that person and it just doesn't feel good. So what I wanted to talk about is that we can be the bigger person, we can let go, we can talk to them. I think the best thing that you can do is talk about it with the other person. Even if that person is at fault and you think that person should come to you and apologize, it's okay. You take the first step and you go and talk to that person and tell that person, hey, just say in a very diplomatic way. You don't need to, it doesn't need to come off as a fight. What I told her was, you tell her in a very nice way, in a very diplomatic way, in a very calm and in a very subtle way, maybe. This is like, look, this is how I felt about our situation. I think we should address this, and then move past it. So you just tell how you feel, and if that person doesn't take it well, it's okay. If that person tries to argue about it again, you can say, okay, look, I don't want to fight again. I wanted to just express how I felt and how I felt about that situation and how you made me feel, and I just want to make peace with it and just move on. That's all you have to tell. And if that person doesn't want to take it in a nice way as you are approaching her with it, it's okay to let it go and just tell her, I don't want to fight about this anymore. I just want to make peace with you and just move on. And you can just end the conversation from there if that person does not take it well. I mean, it's okay. If that person does take it well, it's good. Then you all can have a one-on-one conversation and then just, move past it. So listen, like, I don't know why most of us, including myself, have gone through this. Why don't we take the first step to address it after it has happened? Because I feel like we suffer so much because we are not talking with that person, and we create so much of tension. You know how it feels, right? Like when the energy is off with that person. I feel like it's necessary to talk it out and just settle it. Like, what is the worst that could happen? If the worst that could happen is they might probably pick another fight. But then what you can do is say, I don't want to fight with you. I just want to talk about it in a very nice way with you. But if you're gonna pick a fight over this again, I think it's just end it. Just end the conversation from there and just move past it. What I feel is best is if we address it, talk about it, and probably most of the time that other person also might want to talk about it, or sometimes that other person must be scared to make that first step. Some people just have too much of pride to just be the bigger person and come and apologize. I don't think that you should feel that. I don't know, some people do have their pride, but I feel like you should not own up to that level. You should not be at that level, because if you apologize and you say sorry, or if you know you're at fault and if you go and apologize to that person, I think you are doing a very good and honest thing, because you're being true to yourself. You know and you have understood what you did wrong, and you know how and why and what you can do next time in order to avoid it, or probably correct yourself. Because any kind of argument or dispute that you have with some people, it's definitely teaching you something, and you need to learn how to find out what that is. Because at the end of the day, we are all humans, we make mistakes, we fight, that's how it is. But at the end of the day, is how you handle your emotions, how you address the situation, how you handle the situation, how you feel after it, how you speak to that person after and tell that person how you feel. Because I think that is just so important, because we as humans should not feel or be very closed. We should always have an open heart, open mind, to just be open to learning new things and getting to know about ourselves, what we did wrong. Because it's okay to I mean, probably that person would know that they did something wrong, but it's okay to understand. And if you know that you made a mistake, it's okay to accept it and go up to that person and say sorry. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? If that person just starts another fight, then okay, then leave it and then don't fight back. because the more negative energy you're giving each other, the more unpleasant the situation gets, the more negative emotions and feelings will arise, and you make the other people around you very uncomfortable. But it's okay even if those things happen, as long as you understand what you did wrong, how you can make yourself, and what you can do next time to avoid those type of situations. So I felt like just taking ownership, just being open, and just having and getting to know yourself and how you can address those type of situations. I don't know why I felt like I want to talk about it, but I really wanted to talk about it because she came to me for advice, and I had to analyze that situation over again in my head because I witnessed it. And I wanted to probably talk about it because I realized that just like those two, there are so many people out there like them who end up having those arguments, but they don't go up to each other and apologize and say, I'm sorry, I hurt your feelings, and for saying something like that and embarrassing you in front of everyone. It takes courage to do that. It takes a lot of courage to go up to that person and apologize and say, you didn't deserve to go through that, and it was wrong of me to do that to you, and I'm sorry. It's the little things that matters, that makes us humans much greater. Trust me, when you do that, inside you'll feel so much better and so much lighter. She came up to me and she said, Trudy, thank you for the advice. I feel so good right now. And it really helped me. And she actually put that into practice, and she felt good at the end of the day. So I wanted to talk about it on YouTube because this is what I do. And if you were in a situation like that, or probably are in a situation like that, where you have had a disagreement with an employee or a friend or a family member or your partner, whoever, I think it's necessary you go up to that person and talk to that person about it. And if you know that you're the person that hurt them or or is wrong, it's okay to go up to them and apologize. You don't have to take so much pride as to like, no, I'm not gonna apologize to him, I'm not wrong, they are the ones that are wrong. Like, it's okay to own up to your mistake. Like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to feel that way. Just trust me, when you do that, you feel 10 times lighter and 10 times better. Trust me, I have felt that way. I know you will. But it takes a lot of courage to do that. And when you do, you feel really good. That's what I wanted to tell you. So yeah, I hope you learned something from this video. I hope that it was useful for you. I probably consider doing it at the next argument or disagreement you have with someone. If it doesn't come off really well, please do go and talk to that person and tell that person how you feel, because the more we stay silent, it's not gonna do any good to either of you. You're both suffering inside because you both know that you can't talk to each other. So why just waste time when you can just go up to that person and apologize and talk about it? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? The world's not gonna end just because you go and talk to them about what happened. So yeah, I mean, I hope you learned something from this video. Please, if you enjoyed this video and if you like my content, do subscribe to my channel, and I have more videos coming up, probably exciting videos like this, maybe, I don't know. Let's see. I mean, I don't plan my videos, it just comes to me. So these ideas just come to me and I just film myself and I just upload them. So if you find it helpful, if you find my channel useful, so do subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.